Disney Plus and Hulu now provide the whole 5 episodes of Marvel Studios' most recent series for streaming, with episode 1 serving as a terrific introduction to the Marvel Spotlight initiative. Marvel Spotlight stories will be less concerned with advancing the larger MCU story and more focused on the individual, as Echo demonstrates. This approach can be incredibly successful. Marvel Studios is about to cross a significant number of firsts with the release of their newest streaming series, Echo. The first Marvel production to be given a TV MAR rating under the studio's new Marvel Spotlight label, the first Marvel project directed by an actress of Native American descent, the first Marvel project directed by an actress who is deaf. The series, which is a spin-off of the 2021 Disney Plus online series Hawkeye, centers on star Alaqua Cox's character Maya Lopez as she makes her way back to Tamaha, Oklahoma, her birthplace after attempting to assassinate Wilson Fisk, the kingpin of crime in New York City. From this point on, the show explores the ideas of trauma, family, ancestry, and history while introducing the vast and rich mythology of the Choctaw Nation. Rich in action, the finished result, for the 3 episodes that were seen to the media, at least has a dark, melancholic, and frequently random appearance. Even if the creative team's flashbacks through the Choctaw people's past feel demiurgic, the first 3 episodes' plots frequently feel a little too trite and flimsy, leaving the show awkwardly straddling a line between what is and what could have been. Echo, the studio's first TV MAR production, exits the current Marvel Cinematic Universe and enters the realm of Daredevil, The Punisher, and the other Netflix Defendersverse shows that were Marvel TV in the middle of the 2010s. Marvel Studios' most bloodthirsty, vicious, and violent project yet, Echo is unmistakably influenced by the action-packed moments that came to be associated with those shows, including a nod to the iconic one-take fight scenes from Daredevil. The fight choreography isn't as good as it could be in the Netflix series, but even so, fans will find plenty to love, such as a particularly brutal scene in a bowling alley and some really creative ways to use Maya's prosthetic leg as a major advantage in the fight. Cox puts in a lot of work herself, and her enthusiasm and athleticism are evident. The show makes it quite evident that Maya's intense reactions to loss are what drive her, and Cox's melancholy kinesics convey every last bit of her suffering. Even while the action seems savage and bold, in the end, it feels like ass-beating's done only for kicks. In just 3 episodes that are shorter than an hour, Echo finds itself perilously close to sliding into the same trap that some found objectionable to the Netflix series because of its gratuitous use of violence. Marvel's Echo's first season is here, but there are a few things from previous MCU projects that you should be aware of ahead. With Alaqua Cox in the lead role of Maya Lopez, Echo is about to carry out her quest for vengeance against Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio, her uncle, who planned her father's killing.
Sir, you don't need to step.
Ahead of the upcoming Daredevil, Born Again series, Charlie Cox's character will make a fresh appearance on the program. The confirmation that Netflix's Daredevil series is canonical with the rest of the MCU has finally been made by recent teasers for Echo. This indicates that Maya's past as seen in Marvel's Hawkeye is included in the established continuity, just as much as the histories of Wilson Fisk's Kingpin and Matt Murdock's Daredevil. In light of this, here are 10 facts you should know about Maya's Echo, Daredevil, and the Kingpin from earlier Marvel films and television series. The first episode of Echo focuses a lot on the early years of Maya Lopez, Alaqua Cox, and her struggles with loss and identity. It doesn't take long to recap some of the main information from Maya's Hawkeye debut for people who aren't familiar with her prior tale. But the show offers a wealth of fresh information about her persona and past beyond Hawkeye, so let's go over everything in our overview of Echo Episode 1. Darnell Basor plays a young Maya Lopez, and Ren Zhao plays her companion Bonnie, in the opening scene of the first episode, which tells the tale of the first Choctaw, Chafa, who saved his people from impending death.
watching them all night. That screwed everything up.
Tamaha, Oklahoma in 2007 is the contemporary scene, where little Maya lives with her family. When the truck's brakes fail and they get sideswiped, Maya and her mother decide to go to the store for some ice cream. It was this accident that claimed the lives of Maya's mother and her limb. William, Maya's father, Zahn McClarnon, says at the hospital following the collision that the brakes were tampered with, but that it has now been fixed. Before they return to their grandparents' house and get their belongings to begin a new life in New York, little Maya has a heart-to-heart with her father in the hospital. William expresses to Maya his desire for her to grow up and have a better life than he had. Now, in the present, Maya is forced to witness Ronan's, Jeremy Renner murder of her father as she relives the events of HawkEye. When Maya gets caught by the police stealing a motorcycle, Wilson Fisk, Vincent D'Onofrio arrives on the scene and saves her. To help Maya deal with her anger stemming from her sadness over her father's death, Fisk gives her a job. Maya meets two men for her first work in an abandoned club, where they clean out a warehouse of prospective tenants in Fisk's neighborhood. Maya freezes as the battle starts, but she can't help but defend herself when the men attack her. When Daredevil, Charlie Cox, breaks through the window and dispatches Fisk's two thugs quickly, it appears that the fight is almost done. He then turns his attention to Maya. After gaining the upper hand by dropping a bookcase on Maya, Daredevil and Echo engage in a brief altercation that ends with Daredevil making his getaway. Maya is finding Fisk's new position to be helpful, and he informs her they are now family. Soon later, Ronan tells Maya that Kingpin was the one who wanted her father killed during their altercation. After a quick recap of the HawkEye finale, in which Maya shoots Fisk in the head once more, the audience is brought up to date with a 5-month time leap. Even though Maya has serious injuries to her side, she perseveres and travels to her Oklahoman birthplace. She slips into her former house through the back door and uses dental floss to bandage her wounds. Her cousin Biscuit, Cody Lightning, bursts through the door and welcomes her with wide arms before she has a chance to settle down. Maya asks Biscuit to keep their whereabouts a secret since she doesn't want anyone to find out. Before heading out to visit an old buddy, Maya briefly spies on her old friend Bonnie, Devery Jacobs, who is now employed with the fire department. Following her espionage mission, Maya visits the skating rink where she runs into an old friend, her Uncle Henry, played by Chask Spencer, who works as the DJ. However, not before the desk clerk texts an unknown number with a suspicious message revealing Maya's whereabouts. After Uncle Henry sends in a doctor to aid with the cleanup and healing of her wound, they go to a spot with a view and have a deep talk. This is the location where Maya spies on Bonnie and Fisk's guys who are staying in a warehouse once more. Uncle Henry is informed of her scheme to unseat Kingpin, saying that the city has had a king and needs a queen. Before the episode ends, we witness Fisk breathing heavily in a hospital bed with bandages covering his face, having survived the gunshot wound to the head. Marvel Spotlight's debut episode embodies all the wonderful qualities that the series has to offer. It is self-contained, brutal, and incredibly intimate to the main character. Marvel Studios will undoubtedly figure out how to make audiences care about its characters once more if they continue to tell tales along these lines. With a gifted actor like Alaqua Cox playing Maya Lopez, the possibilities for this series are endless.